Hey y'all, Lance for Permanent Records here. I just wanted to kind of revisit what we have going on Instagram. Every single night we bring about 60 records, one full crate's worth of used LPs to Instagram, and we offer them up for sale. Basically, we put a picture of the record up, we put a caption that describes the record with the condition and the pressing year, etc., any other pertinent details. And anybody who would like to buy that record can just comment dibs underneath the post, and then we'll sort out the payment details via DM. Our regulars already know how to pay us, so they can just call dibs, pay, and we'll ship those records out or get them ready for pickup really quickly. But basically, I'll just take a Creative Records like the one I have here in front of me, pop a picture of this Al Green reissue up, put the price, the condition, the pressing year, and you can take that home with you. So we make record buying about as easy as it could possibly be at Permanent Records. And here's just a little snippet of the stuff that we have coming up for sale in the next day or two. You all know who Al Green and Pink Floyd are, obviously. But if you've never heard this John Barbarian record, this is some really killer Middle Eastern influenced rock stuff from the late 60s on the Verve Forecast label, which did some amazing stuff. A lot of cool psych records and psychedelic folk records on the Verve Forecast label. Gene Clark, that's an esoteric one. This isn't a compilation I thought it was for a long time. It's a proper studio album with early LA sessions on it. We got some Joni classic, Laurel Canyon folk stuff. A lot of classic rock in the mix always, because that's what a lot of people want. We got Dire Straits there. That one has the Sultans of Swing on it, of course. Everybody knows that one. It's a classic rock staple. We got a bunch of Numero Group comps. We try to keep as many of them as we can in stock. All of the Eccentric Soul comps that are in print. This one's the Shiptown label. It's a double LP. Numero Group does a lot of really great stuff. This happens to be a girl group compilation, all obscure girl group records compiled onto, again, a double LP. That one's called Basement Beehive. We got some Ethiopian jazz. I won't even begin to attempt to pronounce that person's name, but the music is phenomenal. Beautiful piano-driven Ethiopian jazz stuff. Back to the Numero Group tip, we got the Eccentric Northern Soul comp. It's kind of a recent one for them. We got the Rupa Disco Jazz. We got a new Numero Group comp. This is Eccentric Boogie. As Numero said, this is the only boogie record you'll ever need to own. Big words, but Numero does such a great job that they can slap a hype sticker on a record like that, and it's maybe not completely incorrect. We got 4 copies of that, and that's something we also do, is we'll put up multiple copies of things that we have more than one of, and then 4 people can call dibs on the same post. We got the Julie Cruz Floating into the Night reissue on Sacred Bones. Julie Cruz, of course, a beautiful singer, unfortunately passed recently, but Sacred Bones has reissued that album, and it's in print now again. And those of you who love Twin Peaks, obviously, very familiar with Julie Cruz, David Lynch staple. This is the Bulbous Creation reissue. This is an incredible hard psych album, originally pressed up by Rich Haupt over at Rockadelic back in the 90s. This album, the recordings on this album were never released back in the day, but they came out on Rockadelic in the 90s for the first time. And now it's a Numero Group title. We got 2 copies of that, of course. Another killer Numero release is this Cosmic American Music compilation. This is what we call Cosmic Country. It's essentially stony, if you want to call it that. like Americana. It's music that is twangy, but not straight country, not insanely psychedelic, but tinged with lysergic goodness. That's such a great listen for road trips and backyard barbecues, etc. I love that comp. We stock a copy or two every week, and we sell them readily. Everybody loves Mort Garson's Plantasia, beautiful instrumental electronic music. This one's on green vinyl. I can't even tell you how many times I saw the Plantasia compilation in the bins and probably just kind of looked it over or passed on it because it was too expensive back when it was like a $20 record. And then over the course of the last 5 years or so, it became a $150, and now it's about a $200 record. The original pressing is. Most of the copies of the original pressing of Plantasia were given away by a furniture company, I think a mattress company originally, and you'll see the hype sticker or the promo sticker on it from that particular company, who I think acquired the majority of the pressing and gave the record away with the purchase of a mattress or as a promotional item. Now, again, thanks to Sacred Bones, it's back in print on vinyl. And has been for a while now. Speaking of Ethiopian jazz, Haile Mergia, this double LP is incredible. It's really soothing. Mostly, if not all, instrumental, piano-based jazz, killer stuff. This is the Way Out Recording Company Eccentric Soul comp. This is a triple LP, and I think it's only like $22 or something like that. Kind of an unbelievable price for what you get there. Eccentric Disco, distilled rare disco stuff, just kind of numero style. They don't mess around. Eccentric Deep Soul. Deep Soul, for those of you who may not be familiar with the term, it's basically like the sad side of soul, the sad ballads, the like breakup songs, etc. The really heady stuff, not the light fun stuff. But it's killer. It's good for the right mood, of course. We got Syl Johnson, Is It Because I'm Black reissue, also on Numero Group. Another Numero compilation, The Rust Side Story. I want to say this is, it's lowrider stuff, but where is it from? Ohio. Yeah, it's got 12 tracks of lowrider jams, obviously an homage to the East Side Story compilations. This is East Side Story, but with records, the East Side Story vibe, but with records from Ohio, the Buckeye State. You got classic SST indie ear bleeding country right here. Unfortunately, You're Living All Over Me and some of the other Dinosaur titles are out of print, but we just got Bug back in. And lastly, on the new tip, we got Unwound. Everybody loves Unwound, don't they? One of the best post-hardcore bands. Somewhere between Sonic Youth and Fugazi, I think is a good way to describe them. We got Ryuichi Sakamoto, killer Japanese synth pop. And then a lot of classics as well, like The Who, Meaty Beaty, Big and Bouncy. We got some ECM jazz here for you. We, of course, you know me, I like the hard and heavy stuff. This is Rainbow, featuring Richie Blackmore and obviously Ronnie James Dio on vocals. Classic, Deja Vu, CSNY. We got Led Zeppelin Presence. We got some Wasp coming up for those metalheads out there. You got some outlaw country here. You'll recognize this one from the first episode of one of my favorite modern TV shows. It's called Tales from the Tour Bus. Mike Judge, that did Beavis and Butthead, obviously, and Office Space. He does an animated series called Tales from the Tour Bus, which features, one season features outlaw country artists, the other season features soul and funk artists, and the outlaw country guys are actually more gangster than the funk guys, believe it or not. George Jones, also featured in that series. I'm just going through here randomly. We're gonna put all the records in this crate. I'll feature them on this video here real quick. Judas Priest, classic new wave of British heavy metal. We got a more recent Chet Baker record. I really like how well Chet Baker aged. What a handsome guy, no matter what age he is. We got a late era Lou Reed record. Not particularly familiar with that one, but that record, or everybody loves Lou Reed, right? I'm a huge Velvet Underground fan, as I'm sure most of you are. And yeah, I love a lot of Lou Reed solo stuff as well. Street Hassle happens to be my favorite, I think. Hard to pick a favorite Lou Reed. Many years ago, I would have said Metal Machine Music was my favorite Lou Reed record, and I think I've changed my tune. After 40, Street Hassle became #1 for me. We got Word Up by Cameo coming through. We got some fusion jazz, Weather Report, featuring Joe Zawinul, of course, Jaco Pastorius on bass. Got some country funk here from Jim Ford. This is an amazing album. That's an original pressing. Light in the Attic did the reissue of that most recently. And we also get some like esoteric newer things. You know, local artists that play at the Roadhouse will bring their records in, and we'll feature them on Instagram as well. We got another Rockadelic title. This one is actually the Ancient Grease pressing. Ancient Grease Records has been doing some amazing stuff. If you follow my Brown Acid series, I'm sure you're into Ancient Grease stuff. They do a very good job with curating. Adam specifically does a very good job of curating his label. Ancient Grease is focusing on hard 70s rock and roll stuff. This Sudden Death reissue is long overdue. The Rockadelic pressing, again, unreleased material that was released for the first time when Rockadelic did it back in the 90s, and now Ancient Grease doing it again. Typo Negative, not exactly my jam, but it is highly sought after. That's a reissue. A lot of people love Typo Negative, but just never really got into it. I was more of a Nine Inch Nails kind of guy back in junior high. Dead Boys got a promo of their classic Young, Loud, and Snotty. It's one of the best punk records of all time, of course. Got some Soft Machine there. You got, which is, you know, Robert Wyatt, of course, Kevin Ayers, etc., doing their jazz rock fusion thing. It's kind of psychedelic, kind of groovy, trippy stuff. Speaking of trippy, got Bruce Hack here, legendary synthesizer guru. What else do we got? We got Steven Wilson of Porcupine Tree. We got a few more classics. Led Zeppelin 4. Tom Waits, Heart of Saturday Night. Everybody needs a little Tom Waits in their life. Merciful Fate. We don't get enough metal, but it goes fast when we do. Roxy Music, that's For Your Pleasure. That's maybe my favorite Roxy Music album. The first 3 are amazing. First 2 have Brian Eno on them, as you probably already know. That's the second one, featuring Brian Eno. Rolling Stones Flowers. It's got Ruby Tuesday on it, of course. You know, Let's Spend the Night Together. Classic power pop. Is She Really Going Out with Him? Joe Jackson. And an oddball compilation called Teenage Party, which has, what does it have on it? It's got a track it's got Time Warp from Rocky Horror Picture Show, a Kevin Ayers track, Johnny Moped, The Boys, and a Michael Rother track on here too, which is why I picked it up. I thought that was kind of an odd one. This is a promo compilation. It's $8. It's a no-brainer, right? Well, anyway, that's it. I'm going to try to make more videos like this to share the kind of stuff that we have going on, share some of the stuff that I am especially stoked about. And yeah, feel free to comment below if there's anything in particular you'd like me to make a video about, and I'll do that. I'm very busy, and that's part of the reason why I don't do these kinds of videos very often. But if it's something that people want, I'll do more of it, of course. I love talking about music. That's one thing about owning a business that isn't my favorite, is that I don't get to have the same kind of interactions that I had in the early days of the shop when I was the guy behind the counter all day, every day. Now I'm behind the scenes a lot of times, taking care of administrative, boring, snooze fest type stuff, but it's what's got to be done for the benefit of the business. So that's where I'm at. These are some of the records that we're going to be putting up on Instagram probably tomorrow, if not the next day. So keep an eye out for that. Permanent Records LA is our Instagram account. Of course, we have another Instagram account. It's Permanent Records Roadhouse. And you will find all of those records and 60 more just like those going up every night of the week. And all you have to do is comment dibs in the comments to buy them, and we'll get you sorted. Thank you so much for staying tuned all the way to the end of this. My name's Lance, and thank you. Cheers.